midfielder, and his parents, Eileen and Bill. Next, number 9, defense James Walker. Parents Deborah and Jim. By the way, Will O'Connor will be attending Michigan and James will be attending Boston College. Can somebody get that guy back here, please? Get that guy back here. Next, number 14, Owen Guest. Midfielder, parents Rebecca and Greg, and Owen will be attending Harvard. Okay, thank you. Because it was Joey and Chris. Next, introducing number 16, Michael Navarra. On defense, his parents, Katie and Doug. Michael will be attending Boston College. Now number 17, Miles Speece. Midfielder, parents Greta and Charles. Miles will be attending the University of Chicago. Now number 18, Chris Gain. On midfield, parents Stacy and Chris. Chris will be attending Richmond. Next, number 24, Wells Fallstitch. Midi, parents Tiffany and Blair. And Wells will be heading to the West Coast to go to Pepperdine. Number 27, Charlie Johnson. Charlie on defense, parents Katie and Rob. And Charlie will be attending Duke. Number 36, Logan Mueller. On defense, parents Caroline and Timothy. And Logan will be attending Rutgers. Now introducing our captains. First up, number 1, in goal, Luke Schlank. Luke's mom, Joey, is here, and he'll be attending Georgetown. Our second captain is number 33, Will Donovan. On defense, parents Kristen and Ryan. Will be attending Notre Dame. And last but not least, number 45, Henry Caponiti. On attack, parents Megan and Mike, and Henry will be attending Georgetown. Congratulations to all the seniors, and we look forward to a great game tonight between Brunswick and Darien, the game being broadcast on Local Live and DAF Media. Enjoy the game, everyone. Good evening, everyone, and welcome to Robert L. Cosby Field for a top 10 lacrosse matchup tonight as the Darien Blue Wave take on the Brunswick Bruins. Along with Dan Arestia and our entire DAF Media crew on Local Live, I'm Rob Adams. Glad you're along tonight. And Dan, I gave you everything right there at the top. 2 of the top 10s. Great to see this tonight, number 2 versus number 10.
Yeah, I think this is going to be really, really fun. These teams have played each other, the last couple years. Every time they play, it's a great game. It's one of those games that everybody in Connecticut kind of looks forward to every year, and people have been wanting to see on a regular basis, as Brunswick is usually this top of the prep school elite in the state, and Darien's public school program is among the best in America. So should have a good one.
Third time they've met. The Bruins have won the first 2. If you had a key to the game, what do you think it is?
There's a couple of places I think Darien could develop an advantage. There's a lot of, we kind of talked about it before, but matchups and little games within the game today. I think one of them could be Ty Comiskey facing off. Ty is a really physical, strong, big-bodied athlete. He's a fullback taking face-offs. He's also a really emotional player. He really, really rides the highs and lows of the game. So if he gets into a place where he's in a rhythm and he's feeling good and he can ride that emotional high of winning some face-offs in a row, then I think Comiskey can be a guy who starts to tilt the field a little bit and let Darien string possessions together.
And on the other side for Brunswick, Andrew Greenspan, the junior face-off specialist who will attend Notre Dame, a 4-star recruit. And all of a sudden we're doing the national anthem, so I think I'm going to stop talking for a minute. Okay, I'm going to resume talking. Got nervous.
That felt like a little spontaneous anthem. The crowd wanted it.
I think it was. Okay, now we can resume as the Blue Wave join the Bruins coming out. The Blue Wave will wear the white tops tonight. Brunswick in the black with the gold outlined in white. So really looking forward to this one, as I said. But on the, I think face-offs, you're right. That'll be an interesting matchup there. And I think, for the Bruins, Luke Schlenk has been just an absolute anchor in net. The Blue Wave, see how they respond as well.
Yeah, Blue Wave has been splitting a couple of players in goal this year, so we'll see kind of if they ride somebody who has a hot hand, or if they try and stick with one guy the whole time, or if they, are willing to kind of move the goalie around maybe at halftime. If somebody's off to a cold start, how long does it take to make a switch? But that end of the field, certainly in net, will be a point to watch for Blue Wave.
It looks like 6'4" senior Cameron Wabel will go down to our right for the Blue Wave. Luke Schlenk, it is senior night for Brunswick as well, although they have one more game here at Cosby Field before Prep Nationals in a couple of weeks, but they will play Westminster here on Saturday. Here is that face-off we've been talking about. Let's go. Number 2, Brunswick. Number 10, Darien. We're underway, and the Bruins come away with it. Greenspan will head to the left side, stays inside the numbers, flips it out to his left. And the Bruins will set up shop. Brunswick from left to right. 15 seconds gone by, no score. Jackson Wolfram, 4-star recruit heading to Brown, sends it back behind the net. Will Cole, a junior who has really come on, played very well against Trinity Pauling, which the Bruins beat the Pride 8-4 last Friday night. Now Brunswick starting to dance in, played by Will Erdman, another junior. Talented teams, both sides, obviously. Getting in close, turning, here's Leo Hoffman, and it got away from Henry Caponiti. Good feed to Caponiti, but Capo couldn't control it.
Yeah, you see a lot of talented players out there, obviously, for Brunswick. I'm happy you mentioned Will Cole. He's a guy who it's easy to lose track of when you see Leo Hoffman, one of the best midfielders in America. Yeah. Caponiti, a top-level attackman. But he's been a spark for them. He's been really bright. So
no, he looked really good.
Looks like they got Brunswick for a push there. And yeah, big collision, and I know Brunswick loves it, but I'll tell you, Comiskey loves that too. He is out there to mix it up. He loves the contact.
No question. As you alluded to, a fullback as a face-off specialist, and they don't mess around with football at Darien High either. Defending state champions. And another outstanding team for the Blue Wave this year on the football field. As Blue Wave getting close. Up high, though, they'll settle it down. That blast comes down. It'll go behind the net and picked up by Johnson. The big blast from the senior midfielder who will attend Navy, Christian Allegro. But now here come the Bruins. Here's Will O'Connor. O'Connor and Cole behind the net. 2-0 Brunswick. 6:20 remaining in the first.
And you see it again with Darien. Both Picorni and Caesar still on the field to play defense. We'll see if Caesar follows and subs off. But these are middies who can play both ends. You don't want to do it too much because you'll wear them out. But they're guys who can do it and you can feel okay about.
Erdman to the sideline. Wolfram. Jackson Wolfram. Taken down close. And two Bruins kind of collided in front of that ball. Initially, it went to Patrick Mullen, but right behind him was Will Erdman as well. Either one of them could have taken that try.
Still a good save there, I would say, from the keep. Being able to go back to front on that and square to that shooter is not easy. Get around and get a body save there is a nice play.
Then Picorni will play it out. Bruins will make some changes, and this comes down to Schlenk, and he holds on to get it quickly out in transition now.
That's two possessions for Darien that just ended up with their midfield taking a shot from range. And, we haven't said Matthew Minikis' name yet, or Brady Picorni's. Their attack has not touched the ball. And, we got 5 minutes left in Q1. That's not going to be a recipe for success for Darien. Their attack has to be involved.
As Dan alluded to, an 80-second shot clock. If you're not familiar with it, it's down to 52 right now. As the Bruins try to get in close, and a hit from behind will draw a flag. As right down close was Caponiti, and that'll be held on to. So we'll see our first penalty of the evening.
That looked pretty cut and dry, pretty much by the book. I mean, alley dodge, and you're on his back. You can see the numbers of the guy, and he's in front of you, and you push him. The ref's got the hand on the flag as soon as you extend those arms. So pretty easy call there, and we'll get to see, like you said, the first man up opportunity for Brunswick, and we'll get to see how Darien approaches their man down.
4:52 remaining in the first quarter. 2-0 Brunswick, and 30 seconds on that penalty to Allegro.
Brunswick has no shortage of players who can bring heat and can really shoot hard, so Darien might have to extend.
As this is blasted on net, Hudson Hausman makes it a 3-0 game.
Yeah, it's a 12-yard shot or so for Hausman stepping down. And as I said, kind of as the man-up was starting there, Brunswick has some elite shooters, has some very, very good shooters. So I think Darien's approach to try and get in guys' hands is a good one. You might just want to rotate there a little bit later to that man coming from X, just so you can get to those step-down shooters from the top from a little shorter slide. But, I think against a man-up like Brunswick's, you're kind of forced to rotate earlier than you might want to.
The sophomore makes it 3-0 with 4:44 remaining in the first. An easy face-off win this time for Greenspan as he runs right down between the hash marks, flips that a little high, and goes down to the netting behind the Darien net.
And you can see the speed from Greenspan, too. He's a face-off specialist, but is one of the faster guys on the field.
Casey Quinson behind the net, and now that low kind of worm burner rolls away. As we hit 4:19 remaining in the first. And a 3-0 lead for the Brunswick Bruins. They play their annual matchup on Saturday. As this bounces down. Gets picked right back up, comes over near the sideline. Brunswick just staying right on it. Getting in is Anderson, Peyton Anderson. He fires 5-0.
It's a good individual effort there from Anderson. Gets downhill, and it looked kind of like that goal we saw earlier. I believe it was from Delgado, who was able to, drive down the left side, roll back up, and get a shot off because there just hasn't been a slide there in his face. You kind of want to maybe see Darien think about, they might be trying to hold slides to keep matchups, but, you're going to have to start getting out to some of these shooters on these packages so that you have a double team ready. That's not a good position for your goalie to be in, of a shooter of that caliber 8 yards out with a good looking net.
So back for the face-off. Now 5-0 Brunswick, 2:07 remaining in the first. And they took their time on that face-off. They've got it straight. And again, Greenspan controls it, sends it to Schlenk. All the way down to the left side, looking for Hunter Spiess. Spiess, who's heading to Princeton. And one of many multi-sport athletes on both sides, obviously. A lot of talent on this field tonight.
And Spiess just fooled him in the sub game, but Brunswick's not going to take advantage of it. There they are.
Here is Spiess. And it's another Brunswick goal. 6-0.
I had kind of said it as it was happening there, but Spiess was subbing off, right? And then around, to use the football markers, around the 45-yard line, stopped and turned back, and the Darien player kept going, went and subbed through the midfield line. So Spiess is able to step down unguarded and is just able to step in from the top of the box, and nobody picks him up. So, the pulls here, like Spiess, like, a Charlie Johnson or players like that, Will Donovan, these are guys who can shoot. They can be involved on your offense. So, when he wins in the sub game like that, you got to find a way to stop the ball.
Brunswick Swamp is alive and cheering off to our left, and they're letting the Blue Wave faithful hear about it. When the Brunswick Swamp is alive, boy, it's fun to listen to. And, of course, the Blue Wave fans, they bring it all the time, so great to see them here tonight as well. 6-0 Brunswick, 80 seconds remaining in really a definitive first quarter. As Quinson will leave it all the way out for Hausman. Now to the left side. Here's Delgado. Now Chris Gain. Gain, another senior, outstanding football player, and he scores!
It's another great, just an individual dodge. Brunswick does a nice job on offense of attacking one side, rolling away from help or rolling away from the defender, moving the ball quickly a couple times and attacking the other side of the field rapidly before the defense can reset. And that's what you see there as Gain's able to kind of get down that right alley without help defense in place because the help defense just went to the other side where Delgado was dodging. So he can get underneath his man and have a shot at goal without much help ready from Darien.
I alluded the other night when Brunswick played Trinity Pauling up at Karate Field, I kind of alluded on the broadcast to that not being Brunswick's best performance. They won 8-4, but something seemed off that night. This is a whole different performance tonight. Darien does get the face-off. They control it with 45 remaining in the first, but it is 7-0 Brunswick. So the Blue Wave with Finn Picorni will try to get on the scoreboard before the end of quarter number 1. Joe Caesar will play catch. Now to the far side. There's Brady Picorni. First time we have mentioned his name, as you said. Backs it a little further out. That goes off the mark. 16 remaining, and it's just something's off for the Blue Wave right now.
Yeah, Brunswick able to back that shot up. That wasn't as bad of a look. You maybe try and get something a little better in terms of an angle on a shot. But I think involving the attack in those two-man games with your midfielders is where you want to be right now.
Here's Owen Guest, down to 1, and the first will come to an end. 7-0 Brunswick after 1. For the Blue Wave, we'll see what they've got in the bag of tricks.
Yeah, Darien is a senior-heavy team. They're a well-coached team. They've got experience over there. They know that there's no 7-goal shot in lacrosse. They're going to have to start chipping away. But, I think you want to kind of start with this face-off here or the next ground ball. You want to try and make that next play. And then, I think your next time on offense, you need to get the ball in the stick of Matthew Minikis. Minikis is your Loyola-bound attackman who was named an Under Armour All-American this week. And I don't know if he had the ball in his stick for more than a couple seconds in the first quarter. So he's a playmaker, and he's a guy you want to be leaning on when you need a goal. And right now you need a goal. So I would be trying to come up with a way to get him a little more involved just to try and get my team feeling a little better about where we are and get us a spark.
Does this surprise you?
It does. It does. Coming in, I kind of thought Brunswick would be, if I was giving you the odds, I'd make Brunswick the favorite. I thought, the questions for Darien would be, maybe in goal and depending on how face-off went early, could Comiskey, ride the emotions in a positive way. I don't think they've been bad in goal. I think Greenspan has clearly had the edge facing off. But, I think some of the midfielders' decisions on offense for Darien have been surprising. Like I said, this is a senior-heavy group. They've played in games like this and moments like this before. They looked just a little anxious to try and grab a goal or try and do something quick.
For the Bruins, how do they let up on the accelerator? How do they keep it going? That's what I'm trying to get at.
I think you just keep doing what you're doing. What you're doing has been working. Your midfield dodgers have been electric. Greenspan, as we're seeing here, is
doing it again.
Although that looks like...
Yep, well off the mark and a flag flying.
And that's going to be they dumped Greenspan late after he threw that ball. I think they're going to get somebody for a cross check. And that's just basically the worst possible start to this quarter. As you're trying to turn things around, losing a face-off to a break and eating a penalty is about as unfortunate as it gets. So, Darien needs to focus up and try and kill this penalty and make something positive happen. And for Brunswick to keep the accelerator down, this is what you want. This is how you do it.
This is how you start.
You start yourself on a man up, and you try and ring up another one and just keep pouring it on.
Senior defense, David Ivanchek, who is bound for Villanova, a 4-star recruit. He takes the knee, and what an outstanding athletic family that is as well. His brother Mark, one of the great joys I've had is covering him. What an outstanding player he is as the Bruins hit the pipe with Delgado.
I think that hit 2 pipes.
I think you're right.
I think that got the crossbar and the back pipe, so... he can bring it, and as I said, no shortage of flamethrowers on this Brunswick team.
Mark Ivanchuk, of course, set the Connecticut State sack record in football, and we were on the call that day. I believe that was now 7 years ago, which is hard to believe as that went right behind the back of Hausman.
That's a good effort on the ride back there, too. You saw Hoffman involved on the ride there, turning the ball over at the midfield line, winning the ground ball, making transition happen.
7-0 Brunswick, 11:06 remaining in the first half. Rob Adams and Dan Arestia with you from Cosby Field. That pass gets away from Hausman. Chase out toward midfield. A good scrum there, and it'll be picked up over on the near side by Tomas Delgado. He sends it across. Here's Caponiti, dancing, faking. Now the ball is taken away, and a good scrum for it. It'll be picked right back up by the Bruins.
Yeah, you can see some of these effort plays from Brunswick right now are just off the charts, whether that's, fight to win back a ground ball. You just saw Leo Hoffman dive at the midfield line to avoid an over and back call. They are just 100% on the effort right now, and Darien's got to match it.
It's a great shot on the camera toward the north end zone here at Cosby Field as Gain bounces it around. And you can get a sense, there's a little bluff there toward the lower school. All those folks gathered up there, and of course the numbers all painted on the grass with the uniform numbers of the seniors. So, and you get a look over toward where they've got the food truck, and a lot of alumni gather over there, and parents as well. So really a great atmosphere here tonight. 10 minutes remaining in the first half, and Darien, they put on a great show over at their field as well. So you've got two great programs, two great atmospheres. Here on the sideline is Matthew Minikis. Minikis sprinting. Gave in close, Dan, but it's taken right back by the Bruins.
Able to separate, and I like those looks. We saw, they haven't scored on the other one yet, but they did the same kind of thing with Brady Picorni in the first quarter, involved in that sort of pick down, they call it kind of a pairs that offense that Princeton really likes to run, but a pick down exchange that frees Minikis up high or frees your attackman up high to then look for feeds inside. And that's a feed inside there to Picorni that I thought was okay, and I thought Brady Picorni's feed inside in the first quarter was okay too. But, I'd like to see them continue that, keep attacking that.
It'll start with Will Erdman, goes to his right. Patrick Mullen there. Mullen, who will head to Bucknell. 8:53 remaining in the first half. 7-0 Brunswick. Second quarter, quiet so far. Nice job of saving that, although it was whacked away from Mullen. And it'll roll out on the sideline. Good aggressive play by Caesar.
Yeah, Joe Caesar's a guy who's going to bring it all day. He's heading to Georgetown, and he's the kind of midfielder that Kevin Warren and that Georgetown team loves. Just dudes who are hyper athletic and can play both ends, are good dodgers, good shooters, and just high IQ guys. And that's Joe Caesar in spades.
Minikis in the football end zone, in the south end zone to our right, paralleling King Street here at Cosby Field. The New York State line to our back, and really a solid football throw away. The problem is you'd be in a little bit of trouble because you'd be hitting Westchester County Airport. They tend to look down upon that. Blue Wave staying on the attack. 7-0 right now, Brunswick. 7:55 remaining in the first half. Turning is Minikis. He's got Hunter Spies draped on him. Around to the far side, here's Caesar. Blue Wave just desperately want that first. And they try it there, but it's blocked and rolls free. Chase for it, bodies flying. The Blue Wave get that win. Now the whistle blows, and we'll get a timeout.
That's a good effort play from Darien to back that up. A decent individual dodge there from Caesar to get a shot off, but that ball could have been anybody's. Darien with the end line dive to back it up. Those are the plays you need to start getting going your way when you're trying to get back into a game. That's the kind of thing that you can start trying to momentum and snowball that into something else positive.
Exactly why I said they got that win, because they need every little victory right now they can get.
Right.
7:33 remaining in the first half. 7-0 Darien. 7-0 Brunswick. Darien chasing. Goals at 8:19, 7:30 remaining in the first, 4:44, 2:48, 2:47, 1:36, and 56, all of the first. Second quarter's been very quiet.
Yeah, so far it's been quiet. I think, the Darien defense looks a little bit better. They look a little settled down. I don't think they were ever really all that rattled in the first quarter. I think it was just a matter of a deluge of Brunswick possessions and face-off wins and just never getting a break. So, I think the Darien offense, again, has been a little bit better. We've seen Minikis more involved. We've seen some touches for Picorni. I think you want to stay with that and try and be more involved from the attack and mix them with those athletic midfielders you have. We'll see what they come out of the timeout with here. This is a great spot for a designed, set play rather than just one of your offensive sets, just to try and get one of your shooters a good look at goal. Draw something up here for Allegro or Caesar to maybe get a step down, or let Minikis try and create a little bit of X.
I told a former boss of yours that I was working with Dan tonight. I thought she knew who I was talking about, and she finally just recognized it's you. So she sends her best to you as this goes out of bounds. That, of course, if you don't know, and really in Darien, you all know her, Susan Schultz of the Darien Times. As this blast off the mark by the Blue Wave and Finn Picorni.
Yeah, that was the shot clock running down there, and just had to put something on net or try and dump it in the corner to set up your ride.
Bouncer down the left side. It'll turn right back. So again, the Blue Wave just trying to get something going.
And their ride's been better. I know that's an unforced turnover there from Brunswick, but Darien on the ride has been a little bit better. And again, those are the kind of things that get you going. So, if they can keep winning those plays, and then eventually you got to get one of these shots to go. You got to start really testing Schlenk here a little bit and see if you can get something by him low or something.
6:52 remaining in the first half. 7-0 Brunswick right now. Brunswick at 10-0, while Darien at 10-1. And it's that one loss we got to spend a moment about, as Pokorny backs it all the way out. Although in Darien, they're going, don't talk about that one loss. It's the one loss we wouldn't want to talk about.
Yeah, they don't want to hear anything about that.
That other place. Out this comes, and that's blocked. Pops right up. Charlie Johnson chasing for it. Again, collisions. Let's see what they rule. It'll stay with the blue wave. All right, we'll make this quick and painless as possible. They lost to New Canaan 11-10 on April 16th. Look, that is a long time ago when you really think about it.
That is a long time ago. Having seen that game, I know there was some spectacular efforts in that game from guys on New Canaan like Cam Whitefelt and Carter Connors, who have really emerged as excellent players in Connecticut this year.
And they're finally on the board, as Minikis blasts it, a little laser beam that was low to get it past Schlenk, and it's now 7-1.
Yeah, that's just, a nice look. Really just Minikis is feeling that there's nobody within range of him, and the scout on him is that he can score from there. It seems like a sharp angle, and it seems like maybe a distance, but he can pick that far low corner as well as any attackman out there. So, I think he just kind of recognized, hey, I got my hands free, I got some space, I can get this shot off, and if he has that kind of space, then he can beat you.
Right now, the Brunswick Swamp saying scoreboard, but 7-1 now. So the shutout officially broken. And Leo Hoffman will get it going from right to left. Go the Brunswick Bruins. 5:52 remaining in the first half here at Cosby Field. Lights beginning to take a little more effect here. Working 15 yards out, and that wide for Delgado to the sideline and out of bounds. It'll turn back in favor of the Blue Wave. These are the little victories.
Yeah, and the Darien defense has made a nice adjustment here too, and something you're seeing more of is Ivanchik is bumping up to the midfield to guard Delgado when they have the opportunity to do it, and they're double pulling the midfield. So both Hoffman and Delgado are getting pulled right now, and that's been where a lot of the Brunswick offense has come from.
Now that gets turned right back. What a nice effort by Delgado on the sideline.
And a smart play to see the quick restart.
The senior midfield, Alec Medwar, had Tomas Delgado all over him.
Yeah, he's trying to run out the clear, and I think that was the right play. He was over the line, the midfield line, and felt like he was out, but Delgado's able to win that ball back. And then, like I said, the quick restarts, when you play by the NCAA rules with the shot clock, can really be opportunities for offense.
Here's Finn Pokorny. He's got Will Donovan on him. Down to 4:50 remaining in the first half.
Donovan, another Under Armour All-American this week. He and Minikis both named to that game. That's going to be in Baltimore coming up.
That's right. Congratulations to one and all. Right along the hash marks is Caesar. Made a left turn. Now he fires. One thing when you stand near those fences along the field, keep your eyes open. There were folks who had a ball coming right at them.
Yeah, and where that fence, where you see it ends is where it ends. There's no net.
No.
You got your whole chest and face above that thing.
The thing is, until just a few years ago, there was no fence around here. It was just a rope and some stakes. So you had to be really alert there as that's turned and goes right behind the net off the try from Brady Pokorny.
I think he got the post there.
Yep.
And here goes Leo on the punt return.
Hoffman to the sideline. Sends across. Will O'Connor awaits. Lost it. Gets it right back. 4 minutes remaining. First half, 7-1. And a timeout. Brunswick. David Earl wants a timeout. Brendan Gilsenan and Julian Mastro, the assistant coaches for the Bruins. And just, I alluded to Jeff Braymeyer, who I've covered for years, and his staff outstanding as well.
Yeah, they do a spectacular job, and they've added. I know Connor Kelly is over there on the sideline for them this year, who's a a Connecticut lacrosse legend in his own
Sure,
right. Now playing,
absolutely.
now playing in the PLL and helping out with the offense. And if he's a guy on your sideline, your offense is going to learn a thing or two. So with Connor there, and then Chris Segreta, who's been coaching the defense really, really well for years now, that staff certainly is extraordinary.
Greg Lewis, another assistant. And among the other folks that are listed, Jack Book, who I remember covering as an athlete at Darien as well.
Yeah, Jack was a great, two-sport athlete here in Darien. Went off to Penn after his time at Darien, and that was a special team that he was playing on. So, Darien's a program that's been at the top of Connecticut for a really long time, and I think in this second quarter has been a lot better than they were in the first. Brunswick is making some more mistakes, but Darien is playing a little bit cleaner. They're getting some looks on net, and I know it's tough to look at the scoreboard and say they're doing okay, but they are winning this quarter 1-0.
7-1 the overall score. I was taking a quick look at some of the history of Darien lacrosse. It's obviously legendary, but some of the numbers go back to 1984 when the Blue Wave were just 2-11 and they were under 500 for 3 years. By 1987, they got it all figured out. Here's Hoffman, and that misses. In 1987, they went to the state quarterfinals. 88, 89, and 90, they were state semis, and eventually the titles began to mount. It's just been one year after another. Here's Delgado. Delgado out to Wolfram. Lost it, taken right back. The Blue Wave trailing by 6 and 3:16 remaining in the first half.
And again, I think that double polling of the midfield now is really doing a lot for them. Ivanchek is really being disruptive on Delgado. He's in his hands out of these dodges and making it harder for him to feed.
Patrick Thurlow headed to the sideline off that turnover, and the bouncer goes away. 3:01 to go in the half. In your mind, is it Darien and New Canaan in the FCAC this year? Is there anyone else?
I think Staples is right there.
Yeah.
I think Staples is a great team, and they're a senior-heavy team that's really been strong at every position, really. And I think Wilton can be there. I think Wilton is pretty good this year. I think their midfield is strong. Grant Masterson's as good a midi as there is in the FCAC.
Tomas Delgado down close, and Jackson Wolfram was standing basically alone.
And that's something where Brunswick can punish really, really quickly off saves, off turnovers, because they're so athletic and because all their midfielders are involved on both ends. That's a case where, it's ground ball up, pass, and then Delgado was feeding inside.
I mean, he just worked his way right across, was standing there and pop
right
in.
The Darien defense is setting up for transition. They're setting up for a break, and they just sort of lose track of Wolfram as he goes underneath. So, Brunswick can attack you so quickly if you're not able to recover and drop back into your defense as they pick up the ball.
2:35 remaining first half. A face-off win for the Blue Wave. 8-1 Brunswick. Trying to come away with it, though, is Kaminsky. And Kaminsky runs away with it. A collision and a whistle, and I believe a timeout was called.
I think Darien was looking for a timeout there. Kaminsky was running into some trouble.
I think they got it. 2:21 remaining first half, 8-1.
That's a good face-off win there for Kaminsky. Clean win of the clamp, clean exit to his rear, and able to win the ball to himself. But you saw sort of, the scout on Kaminsky is he can do that, but he also can be a guy who holds onto the ball a little too long, or he can be a guy who runs himself into trouble. Again, that fullback background may be working against him a little bit there. And that was, I think, something you were starting to see there. He was running through, there's 3 Bruins on him at the midfield line, and he's trying to lower the shoulder through them, or he's trying to, continue forward into the box as opposed to maybe pulling it out or trying to dump it to an attackman. So if he's able to keep winning those faceoffs, that's going to be great. Darien needs the extra possessions right now. You want to see him make sure he makes those good decisions with the ball once he's able to win them.
For each team, I've mentioned the last game for Brunswick. They beat Trinity Pauling 8-4. For Darien, they beat Stamford 18-0 back on Tuesday. And you and I were talking about it off the air. I don't see, and we all talk about this, I don't see what good those games do.
Yeah, it's not maybe the kind of game that you would love to see. If you have the choice between playing Brunswick or playing Stamford,
sure,
you want to play Brunswick. The Darien kids, they know that They're a good team. They know where they think they stack up in terms of national rankings. They want to prove that every week. So these are the kind of games that they want to play. It's in terms of growth for the game. We'll I guess kind of take a look at how that works out, if that's good for Stanford or if that gets more kids involved, and that's the bonus. But I think I would love to see more matchups like this as opposed to 18-0 games.
Minikis sends it out. 8-1 the score. 1:59 remaining first half. Finn Picorni look toward the sideline, and he gets it over there. We talked about Christian Allegro a lot in the first. I feel like this is the first time I've said his name in the second quarter.
Yeah, he hasn't had the ball as much, and you can see Brunswick in a bit of a zone look now, which is something that Darien, we'll see how they choose to attack it. They're trying to do a lot more dodging into it right now, but a zone look is an adjustment that Darien will have to make to get used to how they want to attack it. Usually they go to like a 1-4 or a 2-2-2 kind of look and try and overload after Brunswick attacks the ball.
To the final 80 of the first half. Double team right there as the shot clock runs down and the turnover.
I think some of that is a little symptom of Darien is not used to playing with a shot clock. They typically do not play by NCAA rules or with a shot clock, and I just don't think Picorni realized the time.
The FCAC, for those who don't know, obviously no shot clock there. As Hausman able to pick it up. And of course, that's always a conversation in basketball as well. Here is the turnover going back the other way for the Blue Wave. The FCAC does not have a shot clock. Turning around, trying to get something, is Brady Picorni. Basketball and lacrosse, no shot clock.
Yeah, I think you're starting to see a little more of a push for a shot clock
agree.
in high school lacrosse. People want to see this kind of game, the kind of game we're seeing tonight, that's more up and down, that has more action.
Delgado had it. It got underneath as Donovan had it bounce out to O'Connor. 25 remaining first half. Leo Hoffman tried to dive in. A flag flies, and play is halted. It'll come with 16 remaining in the first half.
We'll see what they do here. How the dive is officiated is always a bit of a mystery to me. They're going to call him just in the crease. No flag, no push.
I like that. Good call. Down to 14 remaining. So taken back the other way. Thurlow looks out to his right. Finds Minikis. Minikis, good look. Picorni tried to stuff it home, and Schlenk said no. And the first half comes to an end.
What a sequence that was.
Wow.
Minikis basically threw Picorni open. He threw it to a spot, and Picorni ran onto it. And he was able to handle that with almost no angle and turn around and get basically a backhanded shot on the goal that I don't know how Schlenk tracked it, but he's able to step right to it and make a save in tights. So that was one of the best sequences we saw all game. My goodness.
An impressive performance by the Brunswick Bruins as we have reached halftime here at Cosby Field. Brunswick 8 and Darien 1. I'm going to go out on a limb and assume that Damian Andrew would like us to stop talking for a few minutes. So we're going to do that right now. 8-1 the score at halftime. You're watching this great matchup between Brunswick and Darien. This broadcast being produced by DAF Media in conjunction with Local Live. Just a reminder, DAF Media, a joint venture between the Darien Foundation and the Darien Athletic Foundation. 8-1 Brunswick. We'll see you in just a little bit. You're watching Darien Brunswick Lacrosse.
The technology upgrades provided by the Darien Foundation has been a game changer for us. It's allowed us to improve our training. It has helped us hone our skills. Thanks to our partnership with the Darien Foundation, who's provided all of this technology and several grants throughout the years, we're able to continue to be prepared to respond whenever you need it.
I'd like to thank the Darien Foundation for their continued support. They've been a wonderful partner, and they've taken this vision that we've had for this property and make it a reality.
Thanks to the Darien Foundation, we have this amazing new van, and we are so excited about it and what it'll do for the community.
This is going to be a real improvement in the services we provide. The Darien Foundation is important to the community in the scope that they reach out to answer needs.
It's important for people to be proud of where they live and to understand that if they want a better society, that they need to fund places like the Darien Foundation and the places like the Mather Homestead, because they're so rich in cultural achievements that it makes it a better place to live.
Celebrating and supporting Darien athletes. That is a simple mission. Celebrating and supporting Darien athletes. That is a simple mission of the Darien Athletic Foundation. Broadcasting live from the field, DAF Media covers 125 games a year. All Darien teams, our youth, in our town, on our fields. Fields like the Center Oval and Upper Oval turfs, the JV softball field, and Stadium East, the longest turf in New England, all made possible by the Darien Athletic Foundation and its generous founders and donors. The Darien Athletic Foundation is not just committed to building our town's athletic infrastructure, it's improving the civic infrastructure for everyone to enjoy. The multimedia scoreboard, the snack bar pavilion, and the stadium lights, a $750,000 investment that makes Darien High School just the second school in Connecticut with LED lights. The Darien Athletic Foundation board is made up of local parents who know just how quickly it goes by. Its archives of more than 60,000 photos capture those precious moments of our young athletes as they strive to be their very best. The Darien Athletic Foundation has raised almost $9.5 million for our town and its kids, and it's not stopping there, as it continues to build a legacy for our youth as bright as their future, both on and off the field.
This is David Genovese, founder of Corbin Cares. Corbin Cares Phase 2, in partnership with the Darien Foundation, was launched to support the people who support Darien. Corbin Cares partnered with the Darien Foundation to thank essential workers, teachers, police officers, firefighters, EMTs, town employees, and postal workers who stepped up during the pandemic. Family meals for 4 were provided by Four Forks, Bodega, Michael Joseph's, 1020 Post, and Parlor Pizza and Wine. Post 53 was treated to a tacos and waffles night with Bodega and the Waffle Cabin. Thanks to countless donors, 910 family dinners for 4 and 110 posties were served. And the Corbin Cares office was flooded with notes, emails, and letters of gratitude. Thanks to the essential workers and generous donors, you are all that make this community great.
We are DAF Media, Darien's hometown source for sports, arts, and entertainment, established in 2017. We Are Community, a volunteer-based organization that gives nearly 50 Darien High School students hands-on experience in video production. We Are Cutting Edge, a STEM initiative. Students use cameras, computers, sound equipment, and innovative software. We Are Live, streaming 120 events per year on our YouTube channel. We Are On the Stage. We are at the big games. We are on the field. We are in the gym. We are on the move. Live streaming not only in Darien, but throughout southwestern Connecticut and the tri-state area. We are making a difference. We are DAF Media. This broadcast is produced by DAF Media, a joint venture between the Darien Foundation and the Darien Athletic Foundation. The production is staffed by student and adult volunteers from the town of Darien and southwestern Connecticut.
Second half getting ready to start. Rob Adams, Dan Arestia from Cosby Field, 8-1 Brunswick. And shout out to the Brunswick Swamp as they were doing a big sing-along to Taylor Swift here at halftime. I was impressed.
Yeah, I know they're doing some Zombie Nation or some dance music over there now, but make no mistake, Taylor Swift was the star of halftime.
Well, I can tell you at least one family in Wilton is celebrating because I know they're watching. Second half ready to go. And I believe I saw a member of the baseball team was here just a moment ago in full uniform. Brunswick baseball playing very well. They're in action this weekend against Stony Brook. First game, 1 o'clock. That's a doubleheader. You'll see it on Local Live. I will have the play-by-play from, I don't know, a quarter of a mile from right here on this campus. Lacrosse, by the way, I am told will not be here on Saturday. It'll be at Carroll Field, which is the new soccer field as well. I was not aware of that, but that was explained to me the other day. Darien gets it going, and Brunswick immediately says, no, we'll take this back. And they'll blow the whistle and turn it the other way.
Yeah, they're going to call a ward there. If you kind of lower your shoulder into somebody and push forward like that, they're going to get you for a ward. But we saw out of that first possession there, you saw the ball go to Minikis, and you saw him get a switch, actually. He was able to run through a pick and switch onto a shorty.
Looking right down low to get inside to Minikis, but that bounced away. Among the media Illuminati here tonight, I saw that Dave Fierro was here. He said hello earlier, and Michael Fornabayo is here, and I saw Sean Patrick Boley is watching online. So hello to one and all. much respect for all of them as this will bounce over to the far side. 10:58 remaining, third quarter, 8-1 Brunswick.
That's a good quick clear there from Darien. Again, with the NCAA rules, and to an extent with the Federation rules, the typical high school rules, there's a lot of opportunity out of restarts. If you can pick the ball up quick before the other team is able to get set, or if they're trying to sub, there's opportunity to make your clear easier or create early offense. And that's one of the ways that if you're Darien, you can try and get back into the game. Try and win restarts. Try and create unsettleds.
Turning, this comes down to Allegro. Goes behind the net.
And there's a great goal inside. It looked like that was Picorni getting underneath his man, and I think he fed Minikis inside. There's a little more action there out of the attack. I think it was just, individual effort from Picorni getting underneath his man from that low wing. And then once that slide happens, once that help is sent to the Dodger, Minikis can feel where that space gets vacated, steps into it, and is able to kind of collect a rebound, a loose ball inside, and put it home. So a good kind of a spark goal there for Darien if you're trying to get something going.
It's 8-2. Brunswick's head trainer, Mark Strelekis, stopped up here for a moment and was asking me to make an announcement, so I had to step off mic for a moment. So somewhere I'm going to have to work in an announcement. And off the face-off. Oh, it'll spin back toward the Blue Wave, who are trying to climb back in, trailing 8-2. So it's multitasking here at Brunswick.
Yeah, Comiskey getting himself a call there a little bit. Feels the man on his back and just kind of goes forward and falls, and that's legitimate play. It happens all the time, but that's a good way to draw a push, get yourself possession. Again, it's all about possessions here for Darien.
On the Cinco de Mayo, a day after, of course, May the 4th be with you, so it's just one thing after another. Down the left side, Caesar. Now sends close, and they score! It's 8-3.
And if you're Darien, you want to see this snowballing. If you're Brunswick, you want to try and tighten up this defense a little bit and get a feel for what's going on the inside. You can see there Caesar's able to beat his man and then just kind of finds Riley Strube up top, who dodges quickly after help was already coming to Caesar. So, the name of the game right now for the Darien offense and on a lot of the Brunswick offensive possessions is draw that slide, move the ball quick, and attack the defense before it can get reset, before there's another help defender in place. That's what allowed Strube there to kind of get inside without somebody in his face.
Now, if you're the Darien or the Brunswick families, when do you start getting a little nervous? That's my next question. It's 8-3 right now, 9:29 remaining in the third quarter as Delgado holds it.
They got out to that great start, obviously 7-0 in the first quarter, but since then, you're looking at 3-1 Darien. So Darien is showing that they can play with you since that first quarter. I think you kind of want to get back to the kind of rapid attack from your midfielders, from Hoffman, from Delgado, and keep leaning on those matchups that you were winning consistently.
It'll go behind the net. Cole bounced and coming away with it. Bruins had it for a moment. As it rolls toward Charlie Johnson, he awaits, and they will blow the whistle.
Yeah, Charlie Johnson there, pointed the wrong way. Charlie Johnson there was looking to just kind of keep that ball on his end. Again, you're going to get the over and back call like you would in basketball if you try and if you don't lose possession and you go back over the midfield line.
Coming down to check that to Caponiti. That pops up.
There's a lot more physical play from the Darien defense, too. You can see they're trying to dump these guys inside. They're trying to put shooters on the ground. They're trying to make those kind of plays that'll shake up the offense for Brunswick.
Brian Martin got that ball ahead. It comes down to Barnett. Heading behind the net. Johnson all over him. Out to the far side for Minikis.
And that's a good decision from Barnett. I know it looks like there might be a lane there, but if you count the bodies on the field, there's 3 white jerseys at the time and 5 or 6 black jerseys. You need to make sure you get the most out of possessions. Forcing one there wouldn't have been good.
And that window was closing. I agree with you. But this one, close and good. And Barnett was smart. He gets the goal.
Yeah, he makes a very, very smart play there. And that, we have a dodge down the sideline from Picorni here that you can see. Barnett's man is ball watching a little bit. Charlie Johnson's looking at the Dodger, and Barnett senses that and just steps behind him, just fills that space behind him, and is able to get open in front. Johnson needs to have his head on the swivel a little bit, decide if he's going or not, or just make sure he stays kind of in Barnett's pocket there if he doesn't think if he doesn't think that Picorni's a threat.
So now a 3-0 run for the Darien Blue Wave with 7:49 remaining in the third quarter. Sliding down, right back up, a flag flies, a couple of flags. Greenspan had been knocked down, and there is the whistle.
Yeah, Ivanchek was looking for everything he could handle right there. I think he's going to get, I don't know if he'll get a push and a slash, but he looks like he's going to get a couple of flags both on him.
Well, we'll see the damage in a moment on the scoreboard. 7:38 remaining in the third. 8-4 the score. Blue Wave talking things over. Nothing on the board yet.
It looked like the referee was signaling a push and a slash to the table.
And keep in mind, and you can probably see it. Yeah, you could see it in our shot, and great work by the crew once again. That is the table across the way. It's 90 seconds has gone up on the scoreboard, but so we're across from where all the information gets fed. Here's Caponiti. Hits the crossbar. And a souvenir over toward Jeff Raymeyer and company.
That thing was moving.
Woof. Out to Hausman.
And again, they have these shooters, so...
Caponiti. Score! Hausman bounces it home and makes it 9-4. 1:06 remaining on those penalties.
The Brunswick man up is so adept at just taking that man from behind and just pushing the goal line, so you have to play him. And then it just becomes, we can move the ball faster than you can rotate, and our guys can all shoot really, really hard. And that's what you get here. Like, you have to come and play the player coming from X. You have to stop him at goal line, and that starts your defense rotating. So, Darien is either going to have to try and play tighter and give up those shots maybe from a little further out if you can, or they're going to try and maybe rotate a little sooner into those gloves and try and anticipate that pass better, but it's a tough spot to play.
Collisions over on the far side as Comiskey tried to control it. 7:05 remaining third quarter, now 9-4, Brunswick on top. Darkness has fallen here in Greenwich. Turning and dancing in is Jackson Wolfram. Going behind the net. Remember, one thing about Brunswick, they're not a boarding school, so it's kind of like everyone knows everyone. As Hoffman turns. He fires too high.
Yeah, a lot of these guys, they're from near towns that are near each
Right.
other. They play club lacrosse together. They see each other in the off season, so nobody out there is a stranger.
Brunswick stays on the attack. Here comes Peyton Anderson. Behind the net with 6:15 remaining in the third. There is a cell phone, by the way, up here. I haven't been able to get on the PA and announce that, but I will say it's ringing and your dad is calling. So I feel bad, but I'm going to wait and make that announcement probably until the end of the third quarter that we do have a phone up here. But just in case, if someone's watching the broadcast, here's Delgado.
Delgado's going to have to make something happen quick.
And instead, Delgado feeds Caponiti. It's 10-4.
And that's something we had talked about a little bit, how we wanted to, build momentum again if you're Brunswick, get back to that stuff that worked early in the game. And what worked early in the game for them was, this kind of look here where Delgado was really just creating for himself and then is a heads-up dodger. Like, he is always looking around to try and find that open man inside as he's dodging. So a good inside look to Caponiti, who has great hands and is a great finisher. So, that's just basically two five-star recruits combining to do something that not a whole lot of high school players can do very well.
Caponiti, another multi-sport player, including a co-captain on the basketball squad, did not play because he was banged up all season, but literally went in for one possession on Steve Jurasek's senior day team. And he drove down the left side, and he's a big man, not known for shooting the tray, he drains a three-pointer. They called a timeout and took him out of the game. So he got his senior day moment, which was good for him. Down the left side. Dad's calling the phone again. I feel guilty. Turning and leaving it behind is Barnett.
You know, something else Darien could try and get back to is they've been able to switch matchups a couple times with their attack. I think if they can create mismatches by switching shorties onto guys like Minikis or Picorni when they can, you know, or more favorable matchups onto guys like Caesar or Allegro, then they'll be able to, you know, be more effective dodging.
Caesar with Erdman on him. Now it's Minikis back to Caesar. 4:45 remaining here in the third. 10-4 Brunswick. There for a moment, it was absolutely wide open for Barnett. He was right in front of the net. However, they couldn't feed him.
That's a good stick there from Spies to make that play, knock that pass down. There was a nice over-the-top look there for a dodge down the opposite side, but great stick to make that interception and cause a turnover.
Down to 4:19 remaining in the third. 10-4 the score. Wolfram along the sideline. Wolfram, he throws it home.
And that's a tough one if you're on the Darien defense, because you're probably winding up on Wolfram's highlight film. But this is what a dodge, just what a shake and bake. I know our replay didn't quite pick up the whole thing there, but man, that dodge just to get top side, and then no help comes from Darien. Nobody steps up to Wolfram's face and try and stop him from shooting. So, you know, he's more than happy to just take the space you give him, get to a dangerous spot, and put that home.
So Brunswick has worked their way back up to that 7-goal lead that they had after the first quarter, and now with 4:08 remaining in the third, they're really sort of in control again. Still a lot of time left, a whole fourth quarter to go.
And this is the kind of thing that helps it snowball, right? If Greenspan can keep winning face-offs and can keep the possession with your team, then you're gonna have some opportunities to pull away.
Will O'Connor for Brunswick. Darien wearing the white. Brunswick decked out in the black. So Darien would like to get on the positive side of this showdown that will apparently keep rolling. And it's fun. It's obviously the payoff. Look at this atmosphere.
Right, yeah, you're always going to get a great crowd. The kids always want to play this game. If you ask any player, they're going to tell you they want to play this one. So, you know, it's the game that they want to see and they want to be in every year.
That turns back and is taken. Schlank will send it. Collision just 25 yards out of the net, and it's Mullen. Patrick Mullen with 1:57 remaining here in the third. Delgado was wide open. He pops it up. And instead, it'll be back with the blue wave.
Great job by Barnett to tiptoe that sideline. I thought he was going out for sure. Great play by him.
Good-looking player. Doing it himself. A flag flies. Will they give him the goal? He's saying yes. The officials are conferring. Now they step away.
And this is one of those where the way they officiate the dive, who knows how this is going to go. I thought that was an unbelievable play.
So did I.
And I thought he got that in.
We get a good close look inside. The officials continuing to talk that over. Luke Damel, our director, calling up great shots. And
yeah, I think they're going to wave the goal off.
Yeah, no goal.
So the way the rule is written, and if you know me, you know I've harped on this all year.
Oh yeah,
watching the college game.
I follow you on Twitter.
The way the rule is written, if the defender or if the offensive player lands in the goal mouth or contacts the goalie, it's a foul on the offensive player and the goal doesn't count. Or it's a foul and the goal doesn't count. As a defender, you're thereby incentivized to push your player, push the attackman into the goal mouth. Just shove him to the ground from the back, whatever. Draw the penalty. The goal's getting wiped off. It doesn't count anymore. So it's dangerous, first of all, because you're incentivizing defensive players to do something that might get somebody hurt. You know, it's going to send players toward the crease where your goalie is. And it's really unsafe. So it's a rule that, we're seeing it tonight in a high school game. It happens more often in college. You would love to see them take another look at it.
So with the penalty on Luke Schlenk, sophomore Tucker Williams goes into net with 1:35 remaining. It was a 1-minute penalty. And the whistle will sound again. This will go in favor of the Bruins with 1:27 remaining in the third and a 7-goal lead. Collisions along the sideline. Another whistle.
I think they're going to get a push there.
As the long stick midi Jeremiah Stafford came in. He's going to attend Air Force. And Dan corrected me on something, and I always want to get this stuff right. Tomas Delgado, he reminded me, and I didn't see it, will be attending Duke, so he is committed to Duke. So thanks to Dan for straightening that one out. And Dan is a great follow on Twitter. This guy just is on top of everything lacrosse. He's my go-to, so.
Well, that's very nice of you to
No,
say.
I'm thrilled to be working with you again, so just outstanding to have you here. 1 minute remaining in the third, 11-4. Thinking all the way back to those days when we were at Rafferty Stadium doing high school games on the HAN network.
Yeah, and I know Darien still on the man up here. You would love to get something out of this man up as the quarter winds down. You want to get at least a good look at the goal.
That got batted around. Luke Hublitz was there for Brunswick and behind the net. So Tucker Williams doing his job right now under the circumstances as the penalty has expired. 26 remaining in the third. Over to Will Donovan. Now Tomas Delgado. 17 remaining. Shot clock off. Delgado really tangled. Came away with it, leaves it behind. Flags flying again. And the quarter will just about end as we're down to 1. And there is the end of the quarter.
So this is an opportunity for Darien with the flag down here to end the quarter to begin the next quarter on a man up. And again, you're trying to get a spark, you're trying to get something going and make something happen here. You got a big deficit, but a man up goal early in the quarter is how you start it.
I have to multitask now. Ladies and gentlemen, may I have your attention, please? A cell phone has been found. It is up in the press box. A cell phone has been found. It's in the press box. Thank you. I do not do windows. Third quarter over, 11-4 the score. I barely keep my own car windows clean. Brunswick in control. A 1-minute penalty has gone up. And that's going to go on Owen Guest of Brunswick.
Yeah, so if you're Darien, you're in this huddle saying, all right, this is how we start it. If we're going to start our comeback, this is where it is. We start with this man up, and we get one here, and then we try and win a face-off. We try and win a ground ball. We try and make one little play, one after another after that, if we're going to try and claw back into this thing. This is where you take whatever your best man up is, whatever set you feel most comfortable in, or you feel like is the best way to attack, and this is where you use it. There's no more kind of keeping stuff in the back pocket anymore. You need to make something happen. And if you're Brunswick, you're going to put Schlenk back in net. You're going to rely on your poles again. Their sticks have been so active on defense. They've knocked down so many passes. They're in guys' hands. You're just going to keep seeing that out of Brunswick. You're going to try and just keep disrupting Darien, make them uncomfortable all the time, and don't let them settle into something where they feel comfortable as dodgers or shooters. Just stay in hands and be disruptive.
Two of the top 10 in the country, number 2 Brunswick and number 10 Darien, according to Inside Lacrosse. As we start the fourth quarter, it's 11-4, the Brunswick Bruins on top of the Darien Blue Wave. And along with our entire DAF Media crew, whose names will all get another shout out, I'm Rob Adams with Dan Arestia here at Robert L. Cosby Field. We have started the fourth quarter, and the Darien Blue Wave on the attack, trailing by 7 with 11:37 to go.
And you can see the range and the athleticism of the Brunswick Pulls. They are really extending. They're comfortable playing all the way out to the top of the box if they need to.
Nice and close, and they get it home. So Joe Caesar gets his first of the night, Dan.
nifty little backdoor cut there. I think, Minikis has the ball behind. He's starting to push the goal line a little bit. And I think you can see Brunswick just kind of step out towards him a little bit, create a little bit of space, and Caesar's able to get behind Charlie Johnson. You'll be able to kind of see a better look at it there. But he's able to make that backdoor happen as Johnson doesn't see him with his eyes on Minikis.
The graphics are just outstanding, by the way. I'm just always impressed. Braden Shank on graphics tonight. He is the graphics coordinator and a voice in his own right. He has done quite a bit of broadcasting, so a lot of talent to be found in this crew. As Darien gets the face-off win, they're chasing what should be 6 now. Scoreboard still says 7.
And you can see Darien starting to fly around a little bit, but you want to make sure you play in control.
That'll be picked up. Now Darien has to play with a little more intensity, and really they have to have that kind of sense of, they got to get goals.
Yeah, they need to be attacking. They need to be looking, kind of earlier in the shot clock. Look for early offense. They're going to get a flag here.
Yep. Caesar down the side.
Oh, I thought it was offside. They're saying it's not. I guess they're going to get a slash here. But, yeah, they need to kind of look for more early offense.
10:28 to go, 11-4. Brunswick up 7, or 11-5. There it is. Now it's 11-5. I feel better.
Even with the 10:20 left and with the flag down here, I'd love to just see Minikis just attack, take a shot at the net, and get to the man up. See if you can get an opportunity out of man up.
Well, he turns and fires, and that gets blocked. Waiting for the touch. There it is, and there's the flag. Or there's the whistle, excuse me, with 10:06 to go. I mentioned Luke Damel. He is the director. You've heard me say Braden Shank, and we want to make sure we mention everyone else. Harrison Bell has done outstanding on instant replay, and the shots have just been wonderful from Ben Wychulis and Henry Imbrogno. Of course, DAF's media advisor, he tells me I have to say his name, is Damian Andrew. He didn't really tell me that. And Bruce Ferguson as well. Great crew, thrilled to be a part of it. And a timeout on the field with 10:06 remaining.
I didn't quite see who that was. I don't want to say because I'm not sure. It looks like they're trying to just kind of stretch him out, like that might they're hoping it's just a cramp there, or maybe a little dehydration. I hope it's nothing serious. You would hate to see that. There's so many high-level players in this game, and it's been such a fun game to watch so far. You really don't want to see this kind of injury. So I know he kind of took a funny step as he was trying to touch up to kill the play with the flag down. And it looks like they're going to try and get him up now.
And just in the regard of cramping, as you mentioned, it was, first day in a while that we saw over 70 degrees today, and it was close to 70 right around the time that we got us started here.
Yeah, and it was, it's been a hot, sunny day today, and, these guys have been running around. Certainly the Brunswick defenders, as we see there, have been quite active tonight. They're, guys who expend a lot of energy. They do not play kind of slow, packed-in defense. They come out and play aggressive. So, again, you hope he's okay, and you hope it's just some cramping or something he's able to walk off.
I'm still struggling to see the number anyway, so we'll leave it there. Behind the net. And they score. A good answer by Christian Allegro.
Yeah, that's just a big step-down shot. I mean, there wasn't a whole lot of spectacular man-up scheme there at work. That's, him getting a pass, feeling a little bit of space, and he is certainly not afraid to shoot. He's, again, so many of these Darien middies are big, athletic, and they can really fire it. So, that's a case where Allegro just feels a little bit of space and picks that low far corner.
And the phone has been recovered, so everybody's happy. 9:57 to go. It's 11-6. Face-offs become even more important now.
Comiskey has drawn a few of those tonight.
Yep.
He's able to kind of push that clamp out behind him, turn, and draw the push call.
Strube sprinting. As he steps on the brake, and they begin to wheel around. Allegro will back it out. 9:34 to go, a little more of a chill in the air now.
You know, and we talked about fatigue, and we talked about, you know, being worn down in this game, especially on a day that was pretty hot today. These Darien middies, like we said early, they play a ton. This first midfield line plays a ton.
And Allegro rings the bell.
I think now you want to, if you're Darien, you want to start getting the ball to Christian Allegro. I think he's feeling it. I think, you know, he was able to see that step-down shot go in on man up, and he's got a little confidence out of it. He's always been a great downhill dodger who's able to just kind of get physical with his man and free his hands up a little bit and fire it. So that's what you saw there is, again, just running by somebody, not being afraid of some contact and putting it home. I think you want to keep leaning on him now. He's feeling it. He's got the hot hand.
11-7 with 9:15 to go. And remember, a few years ago, the final score was 11-9. That was May 15th, 2019. And I remember that game being a bit of a lead for Brunswick, but Darien nipped away at it late. Let's see what happens here as Tomas Delgado runs to the right side. We hit the 9-minute mark. Turning is Wolfram.
And this is a game where you're happy that there's a shot clock, because in some other games with this kind of lead at this kind of moment, you might start seeing teams slow down. Shot clock means you can't do that.
That's why, like Sean Patrick Boley, I also am team shot clock, as that is picked up and worked around to the near side. So Darien chasing 4 and 8.5 remaining, and now with a bit of confidence as the collision goes to the sideline, and it's the Bruins coming away with it. Luke Mahalik came away with it. And Luke with the long stick runs to the left side. He goes to his right, getting close, and that goes wide. But a good look for Jackson Wolfram.
Yeah, that's a good look and a nice bit of clearing there from Mahalik. You know, I think on the ride, Brunswick has shown they are really, really good at trapping your midi if they're trying to just punt, return, clear. They can put the bodies in front of you. They kind of drop ride and defend the midfield line. It's really a popular style of riding, particularly in the college game now. And they're excellent at it. So you need to be smart. It can't just be one guy legging it out.
Here's Hoffman. Leo Hoffman for the Bruins. That bounces around, heading toward the sideline. Does it make the parking lot? Not quite. Out toward that access road.
And again, with Hoffman, you can see he's so dangerous because he's just so explosive, and he does not need a lot of room to shoot. Does not need a lot of space to get his hands free.
Things slow down. Still 47 to shoot, so a lot of time. 7:35 remaining as Delgado just kind of trotting.
I think this matchup has been really fun tonight. You know, when you've seen a van check on Delgado, I think you see a fun matchup of really great physical athletes.
He breaks away. Sends a little further out. Here comes Hoffman. And Hoffman lost it. Scooped right back up. The junior, John Wilson, came away with it. And there's 7:09 remaining. What kind of drama do the Blue Wave have in store? And can Brunswick stop it? Under 7 to go.
We'll see how Darien decides to attack this. They have Delgado still out there on defense after a long offensive shift. He's a capable defensive midfielder, and he's a great athlete, but if you feel like he's tired, or if you feel like he lost a lot of energy on that offensive set, maybe you attack him a little bit.
Allegro had the senior James Walker on him. As we watch for number 24, but a block gets it scooped by the Bruins. So that's significant as Brunswick takes it back, and Brunswick scores. Tomas Delgado makes it 12-7 with 6:17 to go.
And we've talked about it a couple times tonight. Brunswick is absolutely lethal when it comes to going from defense to offense. There was a play there where we looked at a feed. I think it was from Minikis looking to kind of bounce the ball back up top. Brunswick defender knocks it down. The ball is off the ground and up the field in the blink of an eye, and you can see just pass. Delgado's got time and space, and we're facing off again. Brunswick is so good at that. If you're not a athletic team that can drop back ahead of them, they create early offense and unsettles all the time.
6:17 remaining, and an immediate whistle on that face-off. Now a flag goes, and the whistle blows.
I think we're going to get procedure here. I haven't been keeping track, but I believe that is the third violation for Greenspan. And if that is, then that's a penalty on him. Yeah, he's in the box, so he's committed one too many violations, and Darien's going to be going man up every time he faces off and gets one from here on out.
6:16 remaining. (12-7) Brunswick. Checking the schedule for the Blue Wave. They play number 4 St. Anthony's on Saturday over at Darien High School. That'll be a good one.
Yeah, I will be in the building for that one too. That'll be, Darien's got in 2 games they play the number 2 team in the country and the number 4 team in the country. So that's a tough stretch of schedule.
And talk about a facility that's just gotten better over the past decade. Darien High School's athletic facilities, and of course what they've done with DAF Media, has just been really remarkable.
Yeah, it's a great place to go see a game.
And
it really
to
is.
finally get those lights that they worked so hard to get. Here's a bouncer getting to Allegro. He's got it.
That's that's an energy play right there. That's a loose ball won by Allegro. Again, able to absorb some contact and put that in. And these are the juice goals you need. I know it's a tipped pass and not the cleanest thing in the world, but man, when you can get them and you can win that kind of play that Brunswick has been winning tonight, that's a difference maker. That's, again, you want to see a spark here. And, looking at this face-off, it's still Greenspan out there. They're not trying somebody else. So they need to be, he needs to be, aware of the situation. And Comiskey's going to have, maybe a little edge here as, Greenspan knows he can't violate.
And David Earl has sent some others out there to take face-offs. So we'll see what happens over the final 5:58 in a 4-goal game. Not just the lights that we were referring to over at Darien High School, but even that entryway that they have now, the bathroom and the snack bar and all. And last time I was there, I did Greenwich Darien football a few years back, so it's been a little while, but a good place to watch some sports. A flag off the face-off, and there's the touch. And as you alluded to, Greenspan just goes right back over.
I don't know. I think they're going to get a push here. I think they're going to say Comiskey had it, and somebody pushed him from behind. Again, he is so good at drawing that play, at using his body, getting position, winning the ball, and drawing a push whether he has the ball or not. So, it's a way for Darien to get back into this game, to close this lead. Brunswick needs to stop committing these fouls. It's been these man-ups for Darien that is kind of sparking them a little bit. And it's another great opportunity here to get another one.
12-8 Brunswick, 5:43 remaining. Credit to Darien. This was a 7-0 game after 1, and it's very easy to kind of pack up the bus and go home at that point. And the Blue Wave, and that's great coaching and great athletes, they have not let up. I understand it's still a 4-goal game, but it's a far different game than it was in that first quarter. Close. They got it. How about Minikis?
You need a juice goal. You know where to go. That looks like Matthew Minikis decided, I'm just going to score a goal here the second he caught the ball.
I mean,
this is just an unbelievable underneath move, the dive in front. There's not a whole lot you can do about that as a defender because you just can't get lower than him. He's too quick, and the help can't get there in time. So it's, a juice goal like you wouldn't believe. You could really feel the Darien side of the stands coming alive down there now.
Just an outstanding, talented, athletic family. Everyone knows Mo Minikis, but we were joking about exactly how many Minikai there are that have played over the years. The Minikis family really special athletically.
Yeah, they're endless.
5:20 remaining, and the Blue Wave have it. The drama building in a 3-goal game. There's a flag. The Blue Wave come away with it. It's Strube. Close. Ball loose, and it'll be taken by the Bruins. Clock stops with 5:01 remaining.
And we're back to the Darien man up again. We keep saying it, but you know, the penalties on Brunswick here are going to become a story in this game soon. It's a 3-goal game. You know, as you mentioned, it was a 7-goal lead after one. You know, we talked about it then. This is a Darien team that is well coached, that's senior heavy, that's played in a lot of big games and dealt with some deficits, fought back in close games. They've had this kind of experience before. So, you know, they're not the kind of team that you can put up the 7-goal lead on and think we got this wrapped up after one.
It was Delgado going off for a minute. Behind the net right now. There's Minikis. Caesar. Taken away. Brunswick's got it. Hunter Spies will leave it behind. And slow to get up. Looks like a cramp. In fact, Luke Schlank going over and helping. And that's great sportsmanship right there. There is the whistle with 4:34 to go. Was that Minikis? I just want to double check.
That's Caesar down.
Caesar,
I think
okay.
he hit the ground.
Oh, yeah,
and I think he's cramping up a little bit. But like you said, I mean, great sportsmanship from Schlank as Caesar's on the ground holding his leg, and Schlank is saying, "Why aren't you stopping the game? We got we got a hurt guy out here."
He sure did.
So I think he's getting stretched out and going to get helped off. But you know, we had said these Darien midfielders, particularly Caesar and Allegro, they will play both ends. They'll get up and down. They will log a ton of minutes. These guys are in great shape, but games like this that go up and down, where, you know, high stress moments down like this, where you want your best players on the field all the time, they're going to be out there a ton. And, you know, this is the kind of thing that happens to guys like that. You're going to see kind of these late game cramps. So hopefully he can just get stretched out, get hydrated, and get back out there.
From a Brunswick perspective, obviously, you know, there's a great athletic staff here led by the now school-wide director of athletics, Cedric Jones, the former New England Patriot, and Ron Van Bell, who still is an AD. He's the associate director of athletics as that gets turned right back around. And I've mentioned some of the other names, and of course a shout out to my partner in crime, Wayne McGillicuddy. He and I just seem to talk all the time about broadcast and whatnot. So wanted to make sure we mention all of them tonight with 4:08 remaining, 12-9 the score. And Darien again. Now the man up, the penalty will expire. It has expired.
Yeah, it was a great play down there by John Wilson to strip Leo Hoffman for the second time tonight here in the fourth quarter, which is no easy feat. So I know Leo, the plan it looked like there was to try and kill it, but Wilson landed a nice check and they were able to clear. So
Strube dancing, moves to his left. Strube, that goes wide but stays alive. There's Minikis. Worked all the way around, and Strube will reset. 3.5 remaining, 27 to shoot. Will O'Connor, who's heading off to Michigan. He's the defender right now as he reaches. 3:20 to go. Next goal, obviously, either way, so huge. Could cut the game to 2. Oh, and that just missed.
That got the pipe, I think, maybe even the inside of the pipe.
Yeah, might have.
And Brunswick with the backup. This is a big opportunity for Darien to try and set up a ride or try and cause a turnover. And Brunswick has been so good clearing with their athletes.
3:04 to go here at Cosby Field. I already can't wait till next year with these two teams. Somehow I'm gonna beg to be a part of it. There's Wolfram. Jackson Wolfram for Brunswick. 2:40 to go. Remember, they can't just play keep away. 44 to shoot.
This is where you start to do the math problem a little bit.
Yeah.
You know, with the 80-second shot clock, you know that if you kill the whole thing, you're going to take this down, you know, to the 150 neighborhood. And then, you know, Darien needs to then all of a sudden score 3 goals in 150 if you never see the ball again. So this is where you'll start seeing the stall, I think.
Medwar trying to get it away from Hoffman. Out it comes Chris Gain. It bounces. Bruins are waiting for it. They bat it right back, but Darien comes away with it. It's Thurlow. Thurlow in transition. Thurlow bounces wide with 1:54 remaining.
Yeah, they're going to call him. I think he ran through the crease after he shot it. And you'll see Brunswick again knows quick restart, get that ball up, let's get cleared, and we'll see how they try and play this.
Erdman moves to his right. We're down to 135. 12-9 Brunswick is Delgado.
As we'll
Here's
see, I'm
Osmond.
sure we'll see our Darien goalie step out soon, look for opportunities to double.
Hausman playing keep away. Right now, Brunswick, big fans of the Rolling Stones. Time is on their side, and so is almost a goal.
What a save.
My goodness. So it turns right back. Stafford. And that went a little wide. The communication off the mark there.
Darien's going to keep it. Big collision there, though.
And all of a sudden, the booth is smelling good. Couldn't figure out why, then I looked behind you. Dinner has arrived with 1 to go. And trying for one more. As Barnett will go and get it. We're under 1 to play. 12-9 the score.
And another flag down.
Johnson trying to strip it away. And in came Luke Mahalik, and play stops with 44 remaining.
And it's getting physical and it's getting aggressive. This kind of happens at the end of games. I don't think it's an indication of any kind of bad blood or anything.
No.
As we mentioned, all these guys know each other. But when you get down to the end of games and you're really trying to get after it to either keep the ball or cause a turnover, it's just the kind of thing that happens. You see a lot more physical play, a lot more, kind of risk-taking plays.
You'll see the handshakes and hugs in 44 seconds. But right now, they're going to play hard. And coaches wouldn't have it any other way. Stays behind the net. 24 remaining on a penalty. And that misses the mark. That penalty, by the way, on Owen Guest. 32.8 remaining. Close. And they got it.
I mean, that might be that might be the goal of the night.
It might be.
That's it around the world from Brady Picorni on a feed from Minikis that was in traffic, and I'm not sure how he handled this. But this is just, you can see Minikis always head up. He's going to look inside and look at the stick skills from Brady Picorni. He's able to catch that and snap that around the world and put it off the far pipe low, off a bouncer it looks like maybe, all in one motion. Brady, we haven't talked about him a ton tonight. He is a freshman starter at Darien, a sophomore now, a freshman last year, and that doesn't really happen at Darien High School. You don't see freshmen out there starting very often. The guys who do that are the Case Mathias, Logan McGoverns of the world. So Brady is a special player, and that's a glimpse of his talent.
12-10 with 25 to go. Obviously, Brunswick happy to scrum all night. That just runs the clock down. And a whistle. And play halted. 17 seconds remaining. Brunswick in the driver's seat, but a 2-goal lead. Here's Minikis. Got to score fast and get another face-off. 10 remaining. Turning, it's down to 6. That goes wide with 4, and that's going to just about wrap it up.
Darien will have one more little throw in front here to see if they can bring it to within 1, but
the chant has begun. That misses. Clock has expired, and the Brunswick Bruins have won it here tonight, but it was not easy. And you can already see some of the hugs beginning. 12-10, the final score.
Yeah, these guys, again, they know each other so well. They play together basically year-round with club teams and then, for their schools and all that. So, they see each other at showcases. It's always such a well-spirited game. And I really think we did get a good one tonight. Early on, we had that 7-0 start.
Oh, yeah.
And I wasn't sure how this was going to go for a while, if Brunswick was going to run away with it or what kind of game we'd get. But, that's a heck of a battle back there from Darien to basically go 10-5 on Brunswick over 3 quarters is something that's not easy to do. So I think credit to Darien. Number one, their goalie play was excellent, and they were able to capitalize on some penalties there late in the game. They were able to kind of get some man-ups, make those count. They got the juice goals when they needed them from Christian Allegro and from Matthew Minikis. You saw the great goal from Brady Picorni at the end. I think we talked about it early, but the game within the game matchups, I thought Ivanchek guarding excuse me, I'm going to cough. Ivanchik guarding Delgado, and we had, we saw some great matchups with Leo Hoffman and John Wilson too.
Well, you talked about some of the goals. Let's see them. We've got 22 of them. We can look them all over. As many as they want to wrap up and rack up, go for it. 22 goals here tonight, and that feels like a long time ago when it was still bright out. But you get a look at some of the action down low, and really just remarkable stuff from these two teams.
Yeah, some guys you'll see at the center of some of these early goals for Brunswick are guys like Delgado and a lot of their midfield attack with Hoffman. That was where we saw some of their really spectacular play early. You can see some of their big shots from man up because they have their guys who can just bring it. It's a great angle of that play right there.
So right there. Yep.
There's Hoffman again,
Hoffman.
just exploding out of dodges and such a good shooter. So, we saw a lot of that early from Brunswick. Not as much late, I think, as the Darien defenders started to have a little more success in their matchups. But, again, there was a lot of just spectacular play on the field tonight.
It was 7-0 after one, and Brunswick was just dominating. But we kept saying, how would Darien begin to kind of wake up? And they did. Credit to them. They woke up as you watch Chris Gain getting that one there. And that was the 7th goal at the time. So Darien would start to chip away. And again, 12-10 final score, they were able to do so, as you see Minikis with one of the goals. And that was the one that kind of got them going at 7-1.
Yeah, Minikis got them going a little bit. And then I think you saw, number one, Darien's a good team. Brunswick is too, but Brunswick started making some mistakes late. As we said, they had some penalties. They had a couple unforced turnovers in their clears in the second half. And Darien was able to take some of those opportunities and turn them into goals. And when you're trying to cut into a lead and you need things to go your way, things started going Darien's way.
And they did. And Darien, as you saw, they keep chipping away at it. They get in close. Strube doing some action right there. You watch here as it's Barnett. That was a good one right there when Barnett got it going. And Brunswick was able to respond. Here's some of the response coming as you see Caponiti going back to Hausman. And that was a big goal at the time.
Yeah, Hausman had a couple of those where he was just able to get his hands free. Again, time and room, and I think both of those were on man up for them. And that's just their righty shooter spot, just him doing damage.
And Caponiti, you saw him a moment ago, as well as darkness began to fall here and on this beautiful Edwards campus. And here comes some more action, as I believe that was Wolfram, one of his goals on the night also.
Yeah, Wolfram off a great dodge earlier from the wing there to beat his man.
That was the 3rd quarter. And then the 4th quarter, really, Darien took control. And Brunswick kind of going, uh-oh, what's going on here? They were coming back, and you watch some more here. Allegro really began to light it up.
Yeah, Allegro really caught fire there. He had the man up, step down, and then he had this goal here where you could see he just beats his man. He's never going to be a kid that's afraid of contact. He loves to just kind of mix it up there off the dodge. So, we saw some of that. I think we also saw a lot from Comiskey against Greenspan. I think that became a story later.
Now, that was the 12th goal you just watched by Delgado, and how important that was. With 6:17 remaining, that gave him the 5-goal lead back.
Yeah, and I think, again, we tried to look at ways, how's Darien going to get back in this game, as, there's a juice goal from Minikis getting underneath.
Goal. My gosh.
I think at that point you started seeing Comiskey win some faceoffs. You saw Greenspan get a flag for too many violations. And that started just generating man-ups, and then, it allows you to see goals like that from Brady Picorni, which are downright incredible. So, a great display of talent. We said it off the top. There's, a million 5-star, 4-star players on the field tonight. You got multiple players going to Georgetown, Duke, UVA, you name the big-time D1 program. There's somebody heading there in this game. So they didn't disappoint.
And the downside of all of that, if there's any downside, look on the right side of that shot and all those taillights trying to get out of Cosby Field in this wonderful Edwards campus that we're on here tonight. Final score is 12-10. As Brunswick improves to 11-0, they keep rolling. Darien drops to 10-2. Now, does it hurt you in the national rankings? Sure, I can see that. But it obviously is a non-conference or league game for either team. For Darien, no impact in the FCAC. They're still as close to the class of the FCAC as anyone.
Yeah, I think Darien, they'll still be at the top of the FCAC. I think you'll have the, teams like Staples, Ridgefield, Wilton. I think New Canaan will be in the mix because they've shown they can hang with and beat Darien. So if you can do that, you can beat anybody in Connecticut. So, I think Darien will still be right there. In terms of like the way it really shakes things up, that's almost part of the fun of this game, is that it really doesn't. It's kind of just like the national ranking game. It's the we're in the top 10, let's mix it up, and all our players, these guys know each other. They want to play this game, like we said every year. They like the private versus the public kid, matchup going on. It's a ton of fun for them. Fans obviously love it. People want to see it every year. So it's kind of just a fun game that happens to be an incredibly high-level game.
Let's not go 3 years without doing this, shall we?
Yeah, please.
It's been a lot of fun. I'm glad you came out.
All right. Yeah, I love doing this. I'm so happy when I get the text asking me to come out and do this. I'm, these kind of games I'm going to be here anyway. I'm just thrilled to be able to put the headset on too.
I've already talked to you about the Nationals, so we'll talk a little more about that. But thanks to everybody here at Brunswick, and of course, and this great crew. Just really a thrill to be a part of DAF Media once again. And of course, my friends over at Local Live. So that'll do it from here at Robert L. Cosby Field. Once again, the final score: Brunswick wins by a final score of 12-10. For this entire crew, our director, Luke Damel, graphics coordinator, Braden Shank, Harrison Bell handling instant replay, Ben Wychulis and Henry Imbrogno running cameras, DAF's media advisor, Damian Andrew, and man of all talents, the tech guru himself, Bruce Ferguson. For all of them, Dan Arestia, I'm Rob Adams saying goodnight from Cosby Field in Greenwich, Connecticut, with the final score: Brunswick 12 and Darien 10. You've been watching a great night of lacrosse between Brunswick and Darien, produced by Local Live on DAF Media, which is, in conjunction with Local Live, DAF Media, a joint venture between the Darien Foundation and the Darien Athletic Foundation. From Greenwich, Connecticut, have a good night, everyone. So long.